My coffee showed up 2 minutes early, so I'm showing up 2 minutes early. Can't let it get cold now, can we? Alright, come on. Am I on? Yeah. We have all sorts of friggin' live. Let's see if I get hit with a commercial straight out the gate. Oh, of course I did. What is this for? AC systems. See, we talked about air conditioners, on Wednesday? And now all I get is air conditioning freaking commercials. Jeez Louise. I'll do some hellos in a second. But first... Oh. And Mercedes is on the mic back there. Bam! Let's get some coffee activities. Look how... This is me, though. Very neat, organized, for the most part. So, let's build a coffee. Got my notepad over here. We got some stuffs to talk about. All the stuffs. We're going to talk about Uber. What's going on with BTC, XRP. Going to talk about the Hulkster. Going to talk about a massive data breach. Supposedly. The jury's out on that one. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on Star Trek. Strange New Worlds. Kind of interesting. But I got opinions and whatever other stuff you guys inspire me to talk about. So, let's start out with 1 sugar because I've had next to no carbs today. What did I have for carbs? A little ricotta cheese. My new frickin' thing is cooking up sausage and just sitting there with a tub of ricotta cheese, and I take the fork and I'll go in there, and then I go in the sausage and yum. Yeah. With a little garlic powder on there. I found these Danish sausage. I didn't know the Danish people made sausage. I mean, they're like cousins of mine. But evidently, the Danish make some pretty damn good sausage, and you could always find it like 5 for $4 at Smith's. So I can't pass that up. I bought like 10 of them, along with 10 packs of bacon the other night. All right, let's get this a brewing here. Fwah. I sees a super chat activity. Thank you, Venus and Jim, for that super chat. Of course, all super chat is going towards parking and coffee too. Just because. All right, I'm debating what to talk about first. All right, we'll figure it out. I just made another note real quick. I love having a notepad. Where were you on the night of July 25th? Which is technically, hence the doggy in the picture and the doggy in your window, it is officially Christmas in July Day. July 25th. So if all of you celebrate Christmas in July, I'm wishing you a Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas in July. Because I do. I was playing hardcore Christmas. I mean, I went like Bing Crosby. I went Johnny Mathis. I went Andy Williams. I went, what else did we go? Frank Sinatra. I went Dizzy Gillespie. I mean, I just went hardcore. I went hardcore on the Christmas today. Walking around with a little pep in my steps. Alright, let's get this going. A little on the dark side, but I have a feeling it's going to be strong, and I need strong. So I've been looking forward to this, amongst other things, all day long. And I do mean long. Alright. Bump, bump, bump. Chong. Alright, I guess we should turn this around. What's up, Parkinstein? I'll say the hellos, and then we'll get to business. There's a new expression. Oh, he stands on business. Who came up with that shit? I'm throwing new conventions, like established convention things, in the trash lately. Like one came up today during discussions with my peoples, and we were talking about biz dev. You know, we gotta biz dev the shit out of this. And we were all like, can we just call it sales? Can we just call it like vetting sales opportunities? I mean, biz dev sounds cool. It's like biz dev. I'm gonna biz dev the shit out of this. No. Now we're just going with sales. Or BD it. You wanna BD it? But then people like to try to figure it out. And they come up with weird shit. So we're just gonna call it sales. Anyway. Gonna biz dev the shit out of that. Alright. Let's try some coffee. Yeah, it is dark. It's dark in here too. I don't know why. It's only 103 today. Only. But this morning and yesterday morning, when I got up this morning, I got up around 4:30. It was 72 degrees out. It was nice. 72 degrees. It dropped from, it only went up to 99 yesterday and went up to 100 the day before, 101, and both mornings were beautiful. I mean, getting up early, I was like, what the actual F am I doing up this early? I found a cup of coffee that I put on the counter and I put a little lid. I put a freaking saucer on top at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, it's still good. I don't have bugs and cooties in my place. So I heated it up, I drank it, and went back to bed at 5:30 and got up at 7:15. So yeah, sleep is optional. Hence the coffee. But it was beautiful out. Oh, that's good. It didn't give me the same. All right, let me try again. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I get that feel. We gotta go for the feelings. All right, now we're gonna. I'm gonna rip through this one. We might have 3 today. Holy shit! Another commercial. I'm gonna biz dev the hell out of this commercial. Oh, I mean, delete it. Alright, let me get over to fan fundalization. Let me say some hellos. How cool this looks. I can't see shit. Sometimes it ain't all about the looks, you know? Alright, let's see what's what. Phil, what up, brother Phil? You coming around? I know, and I appreciate that. Let me scroll all the way back to the top. What do we got? 74 peoples. That's an adequate start. Adequate for now. Jim Wolf, Janice, Maria Ann, and thank you for kicking off Super Chat activities. Mary Leathers, it's showtime. Why am I glitching? I just got a little glitch there again. Uh-oh, wait, I gotta check. See if something important's coming in. Facebook is updating their service terms. Why did I get that on my watch? Oh, because I have like 5 Facebook accounts. That's right. In case I want to troll. No, not really. All right, where was I in the list here? I was right there on Mary Leathers, Jim and Venus, Sony, Tom Lars, what's going on, brother? Jeff, Kevin H, Val Marie. It is, I took one. It's kind of real sugar. I don't know what the hell it's in. It's kind of real sugar. It's sugar in the raw. So I raw dogged it. But I had like no carbs today, so I'm allowed. I had a little piece of a chocolate bar. I bought one of those like big ones like that at Smith's for like $2.99, and every day I eat 1 cube. It's like an advent calendar. There's like 30 of them. So I have 1 a day, and that's like 4 carbs. You know, so I'm good. Alright, where are we? Angie, good to see you. It's been a while. I'm a heartin' and I'm a liking Venus and Jim. Super chat. Chris Miller. Let's talk about Ozzy. Oh my god. Yeah, we talked about Ozzy last week. We're gonna talk about the Hulk. I didn't know he was so controversial. Turned out, I'll still talk about Ozzy, but turns out he's pretty freaking controversial. There's been a lot of people from, I would say, our demographics, our youth, are not doing good. Check on your Gen X folks. See if they're okay. Yeah, the town, Jeff, the town is freaking dead. I parked on the second floor, 3 spots over from the elevator, for the first time since like the shutdown. There was like nobody here except a bunch of chicks running around in cowboy hats, which I don't get, you know. I walked past the sign, because, you know, we're at Caesars. I walked past the sign, and Kelly Clarkson is here tonight, hence the freaking $35 parking. And it goes up when there's like a name brand concert, or it might even be 40. I didn't know she was in like, she like Duke guy. I wouldn't know her if I tripped over. She could sit down next to me. I'd be like, you want my autograph? You know, what do you want? I wouldn't know her. However, did she do country music or something? Because all I see is chicks with like boots, Daisy Dukes, and cowboy hats. I don't know what that's all about. But let me get back into the hellos and the hellos. Janice, happy Friday, Merry Christmas, and all this stuff. And if you want to know where I got that doggy picture, the coolest doggy picture, thank you, Janice. I did it. I couldn't resist. Porkenstein, I got a Captain Lope, keep him coming. Mikey Las Vegas. Keep them coming. BK, what's up, Paramom? My man Phil. Me and Phil's gonna hang out. Stephen J. Biff H. Several YouTubers have been down on Vegas high prices. Yeah, I saw that Steven's putting out, like I get pinged when, you know, he puts out a video, and I watch him once in a while. He's not wrong. I mean, you know, people are not wrong. I mean, it's gonna cost, just to come here and have coffee, 2 coffees and to park, it's gonna cost me like 60 bucks. It's costing me 60 bucks to come out and entertain everyone and hang out with my friends, of course. 60 freaking dollars to have 2 cups of coffee. You know, and people say, you know, they boiled the frog. They've substantially, they're boiling the frog pretty damn good. If not, they just tossed another one in there. But I don't know when the hell they're gonna wake up. Yeah, it's stupid expensive. You can still do it on a budget if you're willing to walk and eat, you know, dirty water hot dogs from frickin' Casino Royale and shit like that, but it's expensive. So, yeah, 60 bucks. 35, 40 for parking, and, you know, 10 and 10 or whatever, and, you know, tippage. Yeah, I'm a big tipper. Something like that. She's got an amazing voice. What are we talking about? Kelly Clarkson. I guess I gotta check her out one day. Yeah, there's been some big losses this week. I mean, some of them aren't even like being publicized. Like Chuck Mangione died too. He was like 80 something. Chuck Mangione, you know, blew the horn and whatever. Chuck Mangione died, and the older son from the Cosby Show. I watched all the Cosby, you know, the whole thing, start to finish. And, you know, way back in the day, and the older son, 54 years old. He's out, you know. So you got Ozzy, Chuck Mangione. I don't know what that guy's name is. I totally recognize him, but someone posted down there. The oldest son from the Cosby Show, he's gone. The Hulkster, Connie Francis, Malcolm Jamal Warner, thank you. Yeah, Connie Francis, people barely even talked about it, you know, it was weird. My brother Tom, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tom. You are freaking awesome. Tom coming through on the Venmo activities. I got the Venmo and the Cash App and do all the stuffs. Let's see, what else? I want to say hello to people. Stephen J with the 10 Bananaраmas. Devin, you were in town this past Sunday to Tuesday. You got to have a good dinner at Maggiano's and a room tour. You saw the room we're getting, right? With the granite top and the chandeliers and the balcony and all that. Wasn't that nice? I'm so looking forward to this year's, next year's Broad Nation get-together. I mean, it's coming up pretty quick. We're at like 9 months or something like that. I can't wait. You know, the Maggiano room is awesome. The food is awesome. The service is awesome. The freaking room is awesome, and it's convenient. And there's like room to mingle. We're not like all on top of each other. You know, we could like break dance and stuff. It's gonna be cool. And there's not a whole lot of seats left, even though it's so early on. You know, I think there's what, like 13 seats left? 12, 13, or 14 seats left out of 40? Jump on it. You can put down a deposit. You don't have to pay the whole thing. You can put down a deposit. There's a link. Someone will drop a link in there. And just reserve your seat before it's like, yikes. She's a pop star. I see you too. She's an American Idol, that's right. Yeah, American Idol. She was like the very first one. Okay. She's got her own TV show too. I am so out of the loop. Fountain Blue raised their resort fees up to $55. I mean, they just don't quit. They just don't quit. You know, I got charged, you know, I pay most of my bills online for the most part. Today I paid a bill. It wasn't a big bill. It was like $129. And, you know, they usually charge you the, you know, if you use debit, they charge you a fee. If you use a credit card, they charge you a huge fee, 3%. They were never allowed to do that. That used to be against the law to cover their expenses. Build it into the price. Don't be a dick. But then they decoupled it, so you're paying like $13 to, you know, 3%, you know, so $100 you're paying like $13 or whatever to pay a bill. You know, that's almost an insult, but I get it. You know, why should that come out of, you know, the merchant's pocket? You know, that's a fee he's got to pay. You give him $100, he's only getting $87, you know. But use a debit card, it's usually less. And I have like burner debit, so like I'll put, you know, like I have a subscription to get my vehicle washed. It's like $14 a month, and I can drive through that. Like I could just go like this and drive through it 99 times in a day until the paint comes off, you know. And I'm not giving them like ACH access to like my bank account or some shit. I got a burner card from Walmart, you know, and I put, you know, a couple bucks on it here and there. But yeah, that's like insult to injury. So this one today was usually, it's usually a $3.99 fee to pay, charge you to pay. I get it, debit. It was $9.99. It went from, and I looked up last month's bill, and I'm just like, yeah, it was $3.99, $9.99. So out of the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and perhaps millions of customers they have, they just grabbed an extra $6 from every single one of them. I'm like, what kind of dick do you gotta be to do that? I mean, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, well, Jim, the $60 for 2 cups of coffee, I mean, that includes parking and whatnot. I mean, if I, like, lived on the strip here, you know, the coffee's like, I give them, you know, 10 or 15 bucks a cup and whatever for the service. You know, generally I give them, like, 25 for the 2 cups of coffee and whatnot. Because I got to walk all the way from here, all the way to the back. They serve it up real good. They do it with a smile. They're super friendly. So, you know, I'm generous. Oh, shit, another commercial. Shut up, commercial. I'm not even done saying all the hellos. We gotta get these hellos in here. I'm in a very talkative mood. Mama Surfer, shout out Destin, Florida. Been there. Loved it. Saw a lot of video clips today of, saw a lot of video of a flash mob dancing in front of Caesars, all cowgirl. Yeah, like what's with the, is Kelly Clarkson's not cowgirlish, right? But this chick's running around like in Daisy Dukes and cowboy hats. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, I want to keep these hellos going. Bum, 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 bum. Dylan O, you're at the Plaza? Shout out Plaza. Go check out the fireworks show tonight. They blast them off right there. And Janice confirmed 14 seats left, and there is the link to go pay. Can't wait to see the new Fantastic Four movie and listen to all the critics. Yeah, no shit, Bev. I'm with it. It was harder to find you a couple years ago, but easy now if I want to. I'm downtown and smart now. Oh, I remember. I remember. Patrick, I just tuned in from historic ranch property owned by, did it for 100 years I once worked for. That is cool, Patrick. historic ranch property. Would I know that? Would I know that? Ronald Reagan's ranch? No, he's not that. Bro, it costs us 10 online to pay our rent. Yeah, I mean, exactly. They charge you to pay your bills now, like they're doing you a favor. I mean, if you think about it, let's just think about this for a second. Yeah, $14.99 steak and eggs at Ellis Island. Yeah, you know, I feel you. Think about this for a second. Do you understand? Think about your life. Just think about your life. You know, you're doing your thing, you're hanging out, you're having your coffee, you're running around the house like nature boy, whatever you're doing, nature girl. You know how utterly controlled you are by the government? Just think about it. Is there anything you can do in this life that doesn't revolve around answering to someone or a bill or a license or a fee? Nothing. Nothing. That we, land of the free, home of the brave, yeah, but we are not free to do nothing. You drive, you need a license. You don't have a license, you go to jail. You need insurance. Don't have insurance, you go to jail. You paid for your car, you gotta pay registration on it, so you're paying for your car twice. Don't have that, going to jail. You walk across the street and jaywalk, you can get a ticket. Let's see, what else? I guess breathing air is still free, but if they can figure out a way to meter it and sell it to you, they do that shit too. You have your house. You know, you're obligated to take that shit away from you if you don't pay. You skip out on your real estate, your property tax. They take your freaking house. You can't pay that $1,800 property tax. They take your freaking house. There is nothing in life you cannot do without getting someone's permission or paying. You want to pay a bill? You got to pay your bill. And if you don't, I mean, it's just overwhelming. You know, I've been coming to realize that. It's like we are so governed in every aspect of our life. Every freaking aspect of our life, there's some governing body telling us what to do. That's just the way it is. I mean, can you tell it anything? If I wanted to do anything, if I want to go in the casino and you know, jump up and down and play craps, you know, like get kicked out. It's just every way you got. Everything is about control. Like we're just cogs in a freaking monetary machine. You know, it's kind of outrageous if you think about it. The taxes and I mean, even real estate tax is fucking dumber than dirt, you know? You pay for your house twice, you pay off your house, you still have to pay for your house. Oh, it's gonna fix the roads. No, it's not. No, it's not. Ugh. It's wild. I mean, just think about it. What can you do? You want to put a deck on the back of your house. Oh, you got to get a variance because it's 6 feet from your fence. You got to come to court, get a variance. Oh, and then you got to get a permit. And then you got to have someone draw a plan. What? It's my freaking house. It's my house, you know? Let me tell you, I'm not... yeah, we are so under thumb. You can't even, technically, you know what? If you lived in somewhere that rained, if you put a barrel, a 55-gallon barrel, if you took your rain gutter, took it, and put it into a 55-gallon drum, or you buried it, they call that a cistern, I know shit, and collected that rainwater, because plants love rainwater. You take that rainwater, you water a house plant, it's freaking happy. You use tap water, it's like, why are you poisoning me, bro? You need a permit to do that. You need permission, literal permission, to collect rainwater. It's freaking coming from the sky. You need permission to collect rainwater. I mean, we are so highly governed, and we just take it. We just bend over. I don't. Just bend over and freaking take it. You know, nobody says anything. They're just like, whatever. I mean, there's some people saying that they want to do, like, it's called the Blackout 2025, you know, because they want to, you know, there's a certain segment of society, racially, that says, we ain't spending a dime on September 17th, right? They want to show the man that, you know, people of color have buying power, and they could just, like, you know, do this. They don't plan on going to work. They don't plan on spending any money. They don't plan on going out. They're just staying home and chilling. And you know what? I'll be chilling with them. I'll be chilling with them because I don't care, you know? My white ass is going to be chilling with them because I've always said that. You know, if we get together as a people, black, white, brown, yellow, red, don't matter. We can just call the shots. We'll just, hey, guess what? Let's not pay our electric bill. The whole country is just like, we ain't paying our electric bill. What are they gonna do? Shut off everyone? No, they're gonna come to the table. They're gonna cry uncle after a week. Yeah, okay, you know, we'll be, you know, a little problematic there, but that's the only way we regain control over our individual freedoms, is if we hit them in the pocketbook. So that whole blackout, 2025, September 17th, I don't care what color you are, if that shit goes down, join. Just freaking do it. Coming from my white ass, my blue-eyed white ass, just freaking do it. I'm gonna support that effort because I want to make a statement too. You feel me? Alright, now where was we? Alright, let's see. I gotta send out a big document real quick, so just give me 1 second, and then we'll get back to chatting, and we gotta talk about a few things. Yeah, I've been meaning to send this document out. Oh, where the hell did I put that? Alright, there we go. Sent. Document sent. Okay. Alright, let's get back to some chat activities. Let's see what you got. Alright, I need more coffee. BLSS13. Yeah, I live in Montana. I'm driving to Vegas instead of flying next time. Too much safety questions. Yeah, I mean, this is like, but you don't have to take your shoes off anymore. You know that. And you can now carry more than they're doing something where you can carry more than like 2 ounces of freaking shampoo or whatever. You know, unless you want to use the shitty hotel shampoo. It's like, oh, gee whiz, but now everything's a hassle. I had to book a flight not too long ago, and it was almost like the way they do it here with the freaking, with the room fees and everything. It was like a third of the price for the flight were all freaking fees. This fee, that fee, the freaking fee to pay the fee of the fee, and it's just like, Jesus, when is it gonna stop? Yeah, we don't need permission to pray, says Jim B. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Yeah, frickin' HOAs and oh my God, we went into the HOA shit the other day. Yes, I believe. Beyonce's at Allegiant tomorrow night for her cowboy. Oh, I get it. Yeah, because I seen a bunch of people. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So they're all gonna shake their booties to Beyonce. I despise, says BLSS. I despise car insurance. I haven't had a fucking claim since 15 years ago. Yeah, I mean, all insurance is a loan. In the grand scheme of things, it's a freaking loan. Because what do? When you utilize the insurance you're paying for, they mark up the next 40 months equivalent to giving you the money back. I mean, you giving them the money back. So they pay. I got T-boned here in Vegas. It was freaking pretty messed up. It was pretty messed up. I ended up self-paying. I did the math. On it. You know, the other person was 1, undocumented, 2, uninsured. So my choice was to go through uninsured motorists, which I always carry. And then I did the math on it. I was like, how much is it going to go up? And they told me. They were honest enough to tell me, and I called around. And I'm just like, say what? So you're loaning me the money to fix the car, and then you're going to take it back over 40 months. Go F yourselves, you know? And then if you quit that insurance company, being that you had an accident, you got to go into the frickin' swimming pool of people who, you know, aren't supposed to be driving. So I ended up self-paying. I saved up my ducats and I self-paid, you know? It's just like, screw you. We don't own, Val-Marie, we don't own anything. Everything is temporary, and so always. Let's just have some fun. And it's hard to have fun when you're getting hit with commercials every 5 minutes. Tickets are on sale now for some bikini party. Who's going? Liquid pool at the Tao Club. Now I gotta reset my damn chat. Alright, let me reset that real quick. Alright, I believe my document was received. I thought it would take a while because, I mean, it wasn't a huge document, it's pretty big. But it went through on the friggin' 4G. That's pretty amazing. I don't bother connecting to Wi-Fi in here. Alright, let's get back to discussions. Alex, how you doing? You guys are keeping me entertained, you know? I mean, you keep me on the subject matter. Let's see. All the concentrated financial government controls that. Yeah. You know, and think about this. When the robots start taking over shit, I mean, they're just figuring out how to eliminate the draws on society. So if you're not with it, problems. There's a fee for online check kind of, oh man. That's, insurance is it's a legal freaking scam. I mean, some of the they got check cashing places in here that are like, it's like legal, it's usury. It's legal loan sharking. By the time you're done paying, and they make it seem like we're here to help you through difficult situations at like 240% interest. You know, or they do in Vegas they do title loans. So you bring your car there and you basically sign over your title to them. They give you a loan against it, and if you don't pay, and they give you, 30 cents on the dollar, and if you don't pay that shit, they just keep your car. On what frickin' Sopranos episode is that frickin' legal? Yikes. No, I didn't get no misdemeanor activities, but I did get, they did give me a ticket, because I called the cops because the woman who hit me, the undocumented woman, tried to run. Well, she was backing up, and then someone blocked her in. She was like parallel parking her way out. So I called the cops, and the cop was like, "Listen, you call me, everyone's getting a ticket." So they gave me a ticket for failure to yield, and I got T-boned, freaking T-boned. But it got thrown out, I wasn't gonna deal with that shit. I paid one of these traffic lawyers in town like $75, and they just, they rubber stamp a boom, and it was reduced to overnight parking. Never went on the light for $75. Score. You got hit with the 20 seconds of commercial. Yeah, I'm getting freaking bombarded. I think I'm all cut up. Yeah, you get a better deal with the Sopranos, Hey, Gary M, what's going on? All right. Let's see what I need. Coffee. I am like, let me see. 3 fingers. No, I'm 2 fingers on the coffee. I need a refill. Haley's kind of snubbing me because, I went over here first. Anyway. Alright, let's get into some topical activities here. Alright, I'm redoing chat once again. The commercials are coming in hot and heavy. All right, so let's get into what I want to talk about. We got time. We got like an hour. We're good. Facebook's new terms of service. Okay, let me talk about a couple things real quick. Let's see, what should I cover first? Supposedly there was a data breach where millions and millions of people's driver's licenses got posted on the internet through some app called T, which was like an app where women dox men who were cheating or some shit like that. I don't know about all these things. And supposedly someone hacked them, so all the doxing information went public, and then someone else compiled it and put it out there again. So don't go on weird websites, especially like dating websites. Like, dating websites are weird. What happened to people meeting the old-fashioned way, you know? Just like, how you doing? You know, what happened to that? You know? Through a keyboard? Whatever. Anyway, I mean, I get it. If that's what you got, that's what you got. He was hitting it on what? That's weird. I mean, the woman who hit me had like, and you know, nothing against her name, but she had like 24 consonants and like 3 vowels in her name, you know, whatever. And, you know, she showed, well, that's who it was registered to. We don't know if that was her or not, but they never found her after that. She was just like, shoop, gone. And when the insurance company did go to subrogate, they were like, nope, sorry. They actually said she left the country, because that's what they heard, you know. But anyway, weird. There's people out there driving around with no papers. Where are your papers? So Hulk Hogan. So the Hulkster, he's gone. 71 years old. I mean, does it really surprise anyone? Not tremendously. I mean, he did a lot of various pharmaceuticals. He did a lot of steroids. Who's on a dating app? Oh, we can look up Val Marie on a couple dating sites. She's good. Yeah, go check out Val Marie. What was it? What's the good one? Swiping left or swiping right? Whatever the good swipe is, go do that on Val Marie's. Now I'm distracted. What the hell was I talking about? Hulk Hogan. All right. And he did a shit ton of steroids, obviously, but he died at 71. He had health problems and whatnot. And I was sad because, you know, when I was a kid, it was all about the Hulkamania and taking your vitamins. And I'm a real American. He was in the Rocky movie, the whole shit. I mean, I don't idolize people, but, you know, he was cool. He was part of, he was an icon of the 80s. So I go online on X, of course. I haven't gotten off X. I'm not getting off X, but I want to give myself, but that's where you find all the cool shit. So I went and checked that out. And people were like, dudes are, you know, they were like, I'm glad he's dead. F Hulk, he contributed nothing to this world. And I'm like, what's going on here? It didn't register why there was such vitriol towards the Hulkster, you know? Because I didn't have a problem with him, but I didn't watch the whole reality shit. Like even Ozzy did the reality. I could care less about. I'm my own freaking walking, talking reality show. I don't need to watch anyone else's. You know, I live in a freaking reality show. I make my own. I don't watch Korn. I am. You know, I mean, that's always been my mentality. Like, well, I gotta live vicariously through someone else. You know. Anyway. So, evidently, he dropped some N-bombs like 20 years ago in a specific thing with his daughter or whatever. Because I had to read like 99, there was like 900 comments, you know, glad he's dead, he deserves it, all this other stuff. Until one person finally dropped why everyone was so pissed at him. Evidently, he dropped like an N-bomb, 2 N-bombs, in one paragraph, like 20-something years ago. You know, I'm not saying it's right or wrong or whatever, but man, he got tore the absolute F up. So, yeah. Anyway, so Hulk Hogan's gone. Malcolm Jamal Warner's gone. Ozzy's gone. The Hulkster's gone. Connie Francis is gone. Like, you know, the Gen X you know, the people from the Gen X, which I'm a Gen Xer, some of our childhood peoples is going away, you know, is what it is. Make life count. Make life count, you know? I mean, it's not the end unless you're down with the D down there, you know? Other than that, I know where I'm going after, you know, after my time here is done, but is what it is. All right, let's talk about...
round 2 for you.
Yeah.
Watch them out. Perfect.
Waste not, want not.
Waste not, want not.
Thank you very much.
Of course, no problem.
All right. Want to watch me build it? No, I'm going to build it. All right. Okay, let's talk really quickly about Uber. Well, we don't have to talk quick, but let's talk about Uber a second. Uber came up with a thing. They got this thing now, right? Where if you're a woman, you can say on your Uber app, I want a woman driver. I think that's awesome. I think that's genius, you know, because I don't necessarily want, you know, if I'm with someone, I don't want them like, you know, hanging out with some freaking strange dude and it's like, hey, you know, hey babies, like looking in the rearview mirror instead of freaking watching the road and shit, you know, it's just a better thing. I get that, all good, you know. So a woman can request a woman driver. But then I'm thinking, are we actually going to define, is Uber, of all things, because it's a pretty friggin' woke company, is Uber gonna be the tipping point on what defines a woman? Think about it. They just stepped on the biggest freaking landmine in societal controversy right now by doing that. Has anyone else thought about that except me? Or am I kind of out there with that? But I'm right. You know I'm right. So now, what is a woman? So Uber is now in the position, like, dude, well, one of the Supreme Court justices was like, I don't know what a friggin' woman is, but, you know, she got the job anyway. The Surgeon General or whatever, he didn't know what a woman was, but claimed it was one. Like, isn't that the whole thing? Like, you know, like nobody knows, but everybody, it's a feeling. It's a feeling that you have. I've never felt like a woman in my life. I mean, I cried when Frosty melted and shit, you know, but that don't make me a woman. I don't care what you do to your body. I don't care how much makeup you put on your face. You cannot have the female experience, you know? But anyway, that's just me. No, it's most normal friggin' people. Let me not, why am I qualifying that? So now Uber, I mean, are they gonna get called into like when you have a court case, let's say, they have to use case law to determine things. They'll say like, okay, here's the case, it's in federal court, and they'll say something like, well, in 1968, in a case of Joe Blow versus your mama, it was established then that XYZ, da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's a precedent. It's a precedent. So now does Uber create the precedent for defining what is a woman? Because, you know, if you find some dude in the frickin' woman's bathroom and you arrest them or whatnot, or they gets thrown out and you're taken to court and whatever to decide, we wouldn't say, well, Uber says, according to Uber, you have to have this type of hardware down there to qualify as a woman. Do you have said hardware? And it cannot be aftermarket? You know what I'm saying, aftermarket? Nope. So Uber gets to decide what is a woman. Am I the only... You guys have to have thought of that. I can't be the only person. That's just me. And millions and millions and billions. See, we always think in the planet that, you know, the United States is so unique. But if you went to like Tanzania, if you went to like Sudan, if you went to the Amazon rainforest where dudes are still running around with freaking loincloths on and like blow dart and shit, you'd say, what is a woman? You know? And they'd be like, you know, she got boobies and, you know, some stuff and whatever. It's like a no-brainer. Like, the consensus throughout the entire planet is a no friggin' brainer. There's just like a sub-segment of society that, you know, needs a little friggin' help to figure that out. But Uber did it for you. Because now we'll find out, because there's a lot of shit going on. So, who gets picked up? Who's the driver? Imagine if two of them, like two of the people who, you know, think they're women, like one who's driving who thinks they're a woman is picking up one that thinks they're a woman. I have a conversation about it. I'm like, what up, bro? That shit's funny. I just thought of that too. That shit's funny. Did they drop their voice back down? Like, yo, bro, this is some sick shit. That's funny. That's funny. That is freaking funny. Whew. That's some funny shit right there. Or are they like, hey, that shade of lipstick looks good on you, man. That shit is funny. Anyway. Let's see how funny you guys. Let's see how many people I lost. Oh shit, my eyes are tearing. That shit is fun. I rarely laugh. I rarely laugh out loud. Alright, let me see if I missed anything real quick in the... I gotta reset this chat yet again. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Is that my girl Tamika in the house? How you doing? Let's see. Alright, let's get over to... check the fan fundalization. No, we good there. Let me get over to all messages, and then we'll continue. Marie Bell, how you doing? Rocky, how are you? How tall am I? Jan, I am 5'10". 5'10" and like 5/16. I measured. Yeah, you know, being in the 6 foot club would be cool too, though. But yeah, I'm like 1 11/16 shy. Inches, that is. Yes, I am in a great mood. Yeah, the sugar's hitting. The sugar is hitting. Dylan, what are you talking about? I have what? I have fantasized of it. I hope we ain't going there, because you know that ain't true. And don't even start with me. Don't even start with me, bro. I think God has already decided the issue. Yeah, Jim Wolf, yeah, I think that's already a done deal. Hope didn't want is... Oh, was that what that was about? I didn't know that. Hung out with Maggie. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's cool. I never met. I remember watching a couple of Hulkamanias, and I remember when the Hulkster slammed Andre the Giant and shit. And got the big leg drop on him. That was cool. Alright,
Said I was gonna pay for your first coffee.
Oh, no way.
A little late, but
Come say hello. Good to see you. Thank you. I
Well, no
appreciate it.
problem. We met you guys.
Please do. What great people. What awesome people. What are we talking about? So they just watched me laugh my ass off. They're probably just like, what the hell? What great people. Let's see. Okay, quickly. I know because, we talk about the crypto, but I don't want to beat it to death. I mean, I actually need 2 of these from now on. Someone remind me to ask. This is a little too dark. So I'm going to put a little coffee in there, swish it around a little bit to get all that creamy goodness going. Bam. Okay. Let's talk real quick about why. I told you, I explained to you the Bitcoin thing. It's in a consolidation period. I said there's a chance it could go down. There's always a chance anything could go down, why it went from 118 to like the 115s, which is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. It's like, what, 2%? No big deal. Not even. Barely. Yeah, it's about 2%. The reason is because someone actually sold 30,000 Bitcoin. Someone do the math at that. 30,000 times 118, or 100 averaged at 100, and they didn't do it in one block. Averaging out at 117,000 times 30,000. Someone made that transaction. That was a huge transaction. And whenever, someone sells a large quantity of everything, it usually drops the price down because it creates like a selling frenzy, because other people, all markets are based on fear and greed. So people get scared. They get scared when people are selling, and you can see if you know how to read a chart, you can see when people are dumping shit, and they're like, oh no, maybe this person knows something I don't. I better sell too. So it creates selling pressure, which lowers the price, which equates to a buying opportunity. But what the hell? Someone tell me what? That's $3 million? No, 117,000 times 30,000. That's a huge number. That is a huge number. That's a huge ass number. I mean, that's billions. That's like stupid billions and shit. All right, now let's talk about XRP real quick. Why did XRP hit a high? Right? It hit like 357, something like that. Hit a high. That was everyone's like, oh my God, we're going to $20. We're all going to be billionaires. Yada yada yada. $3.5 billion. Someone wanted to buy a boat or some shit. All right, cool story. Remember I told you why I'm always skeptical of XRP? The reason why I'm skeptical of XRP is because insiders own 90 some odd percent of it. They literally own 90 some odd percent of it. So when it peaked out at like 355, the co-founder of Ripple, I forgot his name, but he's the co-founder of Ripple, sold off $175 million worth of XRP and tanked the price 14% or whatever it was. Again, this one is a big sell going on, but that's the frightening pump and dump of XRP. That's like a teeny little morsel. If he wanted to do 3.5 billion, it would be back down to 55 cents, I mean, they could dump 90 some odd percent of technically speaking, PLTR is doing awesome. I turned a friend of mine on to SCHD today. He was like, holy shit, bro, why didn't you tell me this like years ago? Most stable freaking ETF. Like even during when everything tanked due to the tariffs, it just didn't move. It didn't even freaking notice that shit. It's so well managed. Anyway, but I'm not no stock guru. You do you. So it's the ultimate rug pull. I mean, XRP is basically worthless because 90-some-odd% of it is held by like 5 people. So when they decide that they don't want it anymore, or they want to buy a yacht or some shit, they're going to toss it in the market and turn it into like 4 cents overnight. And everyone who's invested in XRP is dust. So, but I'm not saying you can't make money on it, but be careful. Don't put a lot into it. I mean, no one's going to dump Bitcoin. It's not, even if Satoshi dumped all his Bitcoin, which he holds like over 1 million Bitcoin, yeah, it'll ding the price, but that'll be a massive buying opportunity. So, yes, I am from the East Coast. I was born in Brooklyn, lived in the Bronx, lived in Queens, moved out to Long Island. You know, that was my progression, and then traveled a lot. Rocky. So yeah, be careful with the XRP. I still hold some, but whenever they feel like dumping it, it's gonna be the most painful thing. Because people are like, oh, it's gonna be $1 million, it's gonna be $100, it's gonna be $20. It's technically worthless. I'm not saying don't do it, and I'm not saying it's technically worthless because all the insiders hold most of it. So how could the 10%, 11%, 9% that's out in public hands like ours be worth anything if there's like it's like the Hoover Dam, you know, down the block over here. You know, Hoover Dam is holding back all the founders' XRP. And there's like a little trickle coming through down here, and at the bottom, that's where all the peasants live with their XRP. If that dam breaks and that XRP comes flooding into the market, it's going to be the largest scandal and pump and dump you've ever seen in your entire life. People are going to be crying their eyes out. Facts. Not saying it can't go to $20 or $100, but when it does, you saw what happened. It hit an all-time high, and they dumped it. All-time high, dumped it. Every time it hits a high, they dump more into it. You know, I guess I would too, but I'm not a scam artist. East Coast forever. It's very hot, Maria. Good to feel like 100. Gonna feel like 107. Yikes. Gary M, what's going on, brother? What else we got to talk about? You got drunk on some Ripple. I got drunk on some Mad Dog 2020. On a dare, I once ate Mad Dog. I once ate Fruit Loops with Mad Dog 2020. Does that count for anything? $3.5 bazillion. Yeah, imagine that. I mean, Trump keeps talking about what he's going to do for, again, you know, there's another thing, just because I'm, siding on that side of the aisle, I don't believe in aisles, but with that, what's going on, there's a lot of shit I'm not thrilled about. I'm not like blindly, I don't idol worship no one, except God, and he ain't an idol. However, like, get with the program. He keeps talking about no tax on Bitcoin, no capital gains on Bitcoin, no capital gains on Bitcoin. Do it already. Frickin' do it already. Just do it already. Stroke of a pen. Frickin' do it already. I mean, they did pass the thing where they're not allowed, the government isn't allowed to produce their own digital currency. Cool. But just wipe out the capital gains. I mean, it's money. People will debate that, but it's frickin' money. Oh, it's a scam. That's why, forget that. Whatever. So, what else do we got to talk about? We got to talk about, talked about the data breach, talked about XRP. We talked about Uber is now in a position to determine what a woman is, which I think is friggin' awesome. So let's talk quickly about Star Trek. So Star Trek New World Order, no, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. There's 3 episodes out now. I finally got around to watching it, and I forgot what the first one was about already for some reason. It just like went, choo. It was okay. So far, it's okay. The second one started out corny AF. It was corny AF. Spock was supposed to marry Christina. Like, if you from the original series, you know that they kind of had like a thing. They were just like, you know, like playing footsie under the freaking table and shit, like the whole episode. And I mean the whole show. But it turns out, okay. So there's this thing going on. I don't want to spoil freaking commercials. Madonna mia. Where's that music coming from? There's a private party or something going on over there. We weren't invited. I'm at my own private party up in here. All right, so it started out corny as hell. It really did. It was corny as all get out. And I'm just like, I watched Star Trek to see like freaking lasers and photon torpedoes and, you know, so I mean, okay, some character development, a little love story here and there, whatever. But then, like, the first one was like, am I watching, is this like a Hallmark freaking love fest shit? Or what's going on here? But then it got a little deep. But what I respected about the second one is they did some throwbacks. All right, if you haven't watched it and you plan, well, it doesn't matter if it's a spoiler, whatever. Turns out the guy, they're like, oh, he's an Andorian, but we know from Enterprise Andorians are blue because it's an ice planet and they got antennae and shit. I mean, that's established lore. In this one, he wasn't. But then he turns out to be a Q. You know, so they tied in Next Generation, which I thought was cool. And the dude who played Q, I forgot his name. I'm not good with names. The dude who played Q in the Next Generation was the voice of the Q, you know, so they tied that in. And then Nurse Chapel got married to, guess who? Roger Corby. Going back to TOS, the original series, she married him up, you know? Well, they were engaged. No, they were married at one time. So that's what I enjoyed about that. They gave like little Easter egg shout outs to the different, you know, well, specifically TOS, the original series, and TNG, the Next Generation. So I thought that was pretty freaking cool. So I found that entertaining. The third one I started watching a little bit of, and this one they went back to basics. We got some Klingons chasing you, you know, oh, and it's got zombies. Yeah, cute, John Delancey, thank you. Thank you, Maria. They got zombies in this one. they got laser tag going on, they got space shuttles getting shot down, they got all the shit going on, and they got zombies. They threw everything into the third one because they were like, they're probably already thinking, oh, we're gonna lose people if we get too deep into this freaking romantical stuff. So they went, you know, they went photons, they went freaking Klingons, they went zombies. So they married some zombie activity into Star Trek, into some Klingons. So cool. Oh, you seen Tim? Yeah, I seen Tim. I can see Tim from here. Howdy, Tim. Yeah. Zombies in space. Let's see. Get some front row seats. Yeah. I see you over there. What's Mad Dog? Mad Dog was like Venus. Mad Dog was like a cheap bodega, like it was like the White Claw of the time used to come in like a wine bottle, and it was like Mad Dog. There was 2 of them, Mad Dog 2020, and I don't know why they called it Mad Dog 2020, but it was like a flavored wine, kind of liquorish thing, and it was cheap. You buy like the whole bottle for like $2.50, and you know, 5 people would get smashed on. Yeah, high school wine. Yeah. What was the other one around the same time? Mad Dog 2020, and there was one other one, but right next to it. You were either with this crew or that crew. But we were kind of Mad Dog. And then there was, of course, 151. You know, the stuff that you can put in a bottle cap and set on fire and, you know, stuff like that. Boone's Farm, there you go. Boone's Farm. I wasn't a Boone's Farm guy, but yeah, Mad Dog 2020. But I did eat it with frickin', I did eat it with some Fruit Loops on a dare with my boy Pat. It was actually pretty good, ain't gonna lie. Ain't gonna lie about it. It was actually pretty freaking good. So, you got drunk on the 2020, Mikey. You know what I'm talking about. Hey yo, Adrian. I hear no accent over there, huh? What are you talking about over there? All right, what else we got to talk about? We got some other stuff we need to talk about. Oh, do we? Oh, Night Train. Yeah, Night Train. I was singing the word train. The word train kept hitting my head. Yeah, I guess that was it. Wine is fine, but liquor's quicker. Don't forget the headache in a bottle. Manischewitz. I've had my fair share of Manischewitz, you know. And I used to hang with a bunch of, you know, deeply Orthodox people. You know, the whole Orthodox crew up in Brooklyn and whatnot. I mean, they used to come see me also. You know, I used to live out in the out on Long Island or whatever. I kept a kosher cabinet because, you know, they came through all the time. I kept a kosher cabinet for them. I'm just like, you know, I got tired of them asking, you know. They brought over a rabbi once and he tossed up some blessings, you know, and that was that. You know, I'm just like, yo, you know, go help yourself and whatnot. But yeah, they used to come over with some Manischewitz and some matzah, and butter, besides being temporary tooth fillings, is the shit. That's some good stuff. Matzah and butter, like now I do pork rinds. I get the ones from El Super, not the ones you buy in the bag from the menu, like the real. They sell you like a bag and they weigh it. You know, it's like $10 a pound, but it's like, oh, they're boogieing over there. You know, so they're like big sheets of pork rinds. I put it in the bag and I give it a couple smashes and I butter that. But yeah, matzah with some butter, that's some good stuff right there. That's some real good stuff. Man. Anyway, and Manischewitz. Drank my fair share of Manischewitz, hanging out with my Orthodox crew, you know? Yeah. And that is a headache in a bottle. It's sweet AF. It is sweet. But it's good too. It is good. Ain't gonna lie. Alright, who else we talking about? Hello, Liz. Well, thank you, Victor. What, no milk? Nah, Boone's Farm strawberry wine. Yeah, no kid, Boone's Farm. Wow, that takes me back. Freaking Boone's Farm. I've had them all. You know, one time or another, you know, I've had all them things. I never tried, I couldn't eat matzah anymore because I'm gluten-free per se, but I don't know. Yeah, I used to drink the oil cans of Foster back in the day. I've done it all. You know, what did Clint Eastwood say in Unforgiven? I've killed and eaten just about anything on earth that walks and crawls. Well, for the most part. Yeah. Let's see. You hear them? You hear that? They're like getting down over there. I mean, well, yeah, they're getting down. I don't know what's going on. They didn't invite me. What's with the private party? You got guys in suits and women in like the $10 freaking rainbow dresses. That'll end up on the floor somewhere. The $10 dresses. But yeah. The new Star Trek is cool. I just found out, like, I'm up to the part in the 3rd episode where there's zombies. You know, so I was just like, no way. I gotta watch this, like, when I'm not concentrating. Like, I'll watch it before bed tonight. You know, so I can concentrate on freaking zombies. And it was cool. It was cool, don't get me wrong. I mean, what's his name? That Antoine or Anton, whatever, the Captain Pike dude. I mean, you know, he's got a little too much of a pompadour going on this season, and you know, like he had the perfect amount of gray hair. Then now he's let it go a little bit, you know. I mean, it's a year later or whatever, or 10 years later, whatever, in the 5-year mission. But yeah, they got to tone that down. You know what's cool about that? What is the chick's name? If anyone has watched it already, in the second episode where Spock's supposed to marry Nurse Chapel, the chick who teaches Spock to dance. I don't know what her name is as a character. You know, I just don't know. The chick with the long hair, the chemistry that the two of them had during that episode was palatable. I mean, you know they were knocking boots while they were filming that. You know they were knocking boots after they were filming that. I mean, it was like almost hot, you know? I mean, not like, yeah, it was almost like, whoa, it was palatable. The chemistry and the tension that took place, either that or, damn, they need an Academy Award because it was just palatable. I see like somewhere during this next few episodes, they're gonna be shacking up. No ifs, ands, or buts, but it's either that or they couldn't control themselves, you know, because that was some serious chemistry and whatever. Would someone look up her name? Like look up the cast and it's the blonde, black-haired chick in there or whatever, and they were dancing, and you know, it was pretty wild. I was just like, you know, this is almost like soft core over here. You know, you could just feel that vibe coming off them. I was just like, you go, Spock, you know? Good on you, bro. They get louder and louder and louder. That sounds like, who is that? I don't know who that is. I can't figure that out. Yeah, they was knocking boots. They was knocking all the boots. Man, the commercials tonight are out of freaking control. Oh my God. Anson Mount. His name's Mount? Yeah, you know the Bacardi 151, right? I mean, that was like you were like in the cool club. If you know, you had your hands on some Bacardi 151 proof, which means it's like 75% alcohol. It's like drinking rubbing alcohol. And then what was the other one? Mezcal. Ooh, because it has would you have to eat? Had to eat the worm or the scorpion or some shit at the bottom. I don't know. And I've eaten it. Oh, you're gonna trip balls or whatever. I didn't trip no balls. I ate that thing. I ate a scorpion too. Who cares? Am I the only one whose chat isn't moving, or am I just being that entertaining this evening? I feel like Annie Green Springs. What is that? I don't know what that is. Mickey Beer. Oh, well, what was Jimmy Carter's brother? See, my chat is not moving anymore. This is the third time that I've restarted it, and they ain't doing nothing. I'm letting my fingers walk all over the screen, and now it's not even coming up. What up with that, yo? Alright, there we go. Oh, someone posted a name. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Duh, Bror Fredrik. That is Khan Noonien Singh's great-great-great-granddaughter or some shit. Yeah. Duh. That's like my favorite episode, Space Seed. That is by far my favorite episode in any Star Trek, was Space Seed. Yeah. It was kind of romantic. It was a love story, you know? Yeah, it was it was a love. People will argue that point, and they'll say, oh, that was misogynistic and all this other shit. No, it was one of the most romantic things I've ever seen in my life. Besides Spock and his but it's weird because this took place before. It's a weird timeline because it took place, but you know, in this alternate forks of universe in Star Trek. So Spock didn't even meet Khan yet, but that's also his great-granddaughter or some shit. It's kind of weird. It's kind of Back to the Future-ish. But yeah, Khan. Golden Seal, Goldschlager, Golden Seal. What's the drink? Yeah, with the gold specks in it. Yeah, I remember that stuff. Union Singh. Oh, Khan. That was the best. That was the best. Oh, how much time do you... Should I put it on? Should I... No, I'll probably get in trouble. Because it is... Yeah, anything... Paramount is nasty when it comes to putting things on YouTube. If you put anything Paramount, which the Star Trek universe is basically all Paramount, they will take it down immediately. They will not only just take it down, they will issue a copyright strike against you. They had every frickin' one out there, everything. They had every audio book, everything. The only people who are getting away with it now you can still find the cartoons. And there was a cartoon series with Star Trek. There's a bunch of books. The only way you can get away with it now, the audio books, even though it was Simon & Schuster, they're gone. That was great entertainment. Now, the only thing you have is people literally taking the books and the comic books and reading them out loud. And if it's a female character and it's a dude doing it, they use a robot voice. But yeah, they've scrubbed YouTube of anything Star Trek. It's pretty freaking hard. So I can't just look up. You'll do it now too. We'll come back later. Look up Con the PIMP. I think that video is still up there for some reason because it's got like 1 trillion freaking views. It's very romantic. Real funny at times, like when you. I will go eat cheese at conventions all freaking day long. The Wrath of Khan was the best Star Trek movie of those. The first one was like, felt like I was moving in slow motion. But the guy in the background looks like Mr. P. Where's Mr. P? That dude now. Mr. P's in the background now. This me and him, we probably share the same bloodline because technically all the Rus they're all basically all Swedes. So yeah, they're a forked branch of my people, the Swedish, you know, because we went that way and the Norwegians went that way. That big old dude back there, he looks like Mr. P. Ain't no one big like you, Captain Dave. You a big boy. You big enough. I come up to I'm like 5'10" and 5/16", and I come up to like Dave's shoulders and shit. Nobody messes with Captain Dave. Nope. I'm gonna finish up this coffee. Alright. I finished up. Oh. Almost left my open. Let me, alright, let's see what else is cracking over here. I want to put this away so I don't forget it. That is getting so loud, I feel like I'm yelling. I mean, I don't know, what's private party? What, they got a DJ? Am I like getting a fuddy-duddy-ish? Hey, get off my lawn. Am I that way? No, I'm not that way. But if you went on my lawn, I'd throw down. Don't come on my lawn. Don't come on my lawn. You can come on a lot of things, but a lawn ain't one of them. Alright. Alright. Oh, I wanted to talk about real quickly, not to be a D or anything, but I don't know in terms of, because I've been trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday in terms of streaming, right? Lately, I've been going back to, it was a little easier for a couple weeks. I did the Monday, Tuesday, Friday thing because I was only doing 45, 50 hours on average per week, well, spread out. So it was a little easier, but now, my time's starting to ramp up a little bit, like into the 50s and 60 hours category. So that's why I didn't, when did we go? I couldn't go out Monday. It's been a lot of 12, 13, 14 hour days lately. is what it is. A lot of fun and all that. Right? Isn't that loud? You could hear that, Miss Google. How you doing? It's cranking. I am yelling. I hope you can hear. Oh, shit. Missed them. There was actually one of those freaking mosquitoes. One of those the black tiger striped mosquitoes was literally right here. I shit you not. I missed him. I wasn't quick enough. Literally coming. He was right at the freaking table. Mosquitoes are here. I think they're the Bill Gates ones, the freaking robot ones. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be doing the 3 days a week or whatnot. And I'll be honest too, I don't know if everyone's kind of digging them or not, you know, because there hasn't really been a lot of participation on the, you know, the Mondays and Wednesdays. And honestly, you know, to come out and do the parking and do all the things that it takes to do this and pay for all the things that it takes to do this, to have like, you know, 70, 80, 90 people watch, which, I mean, I'm thankful, don't get me wrong, but it used to be like 200-300, you know, to see it at like 80, you know, and 90 is kind of like whatever, you know. I don't want to, I mean, not saying I don't enjoy it, but it just seems like, you know, maybe it's not, you know, maybe it's too much. Maybe it's, I don't want to inundate and be like, oh shit, he's on again, let me go vlog. You know, I don't want to be like that about it. You know, maybe it's too much. I don't know. I mean, there was a point where I was streaming like 5 days a week, and then I watched it, you know, kind of taper off because like people like enough already. Enough of this friggin' guy already. And I can keep up a conversation for friggin' 5 days straight. That's not an issue. But you know, people have things to do. So I'm gonna think about it. And you guys think about it, whether you want me to continue doing it. If not, I'll just keep doing it. Fridays, because I love coming out on Fridays. Kung Fu Reflects. R.I.P. the Hulkster. No wonder I'm deaf now. I have my own karaoke music. Yeah. You ran your own. That's actually pretty cool. Karaoke activities. I'm resetting my chat again because it's beat AF. Yeah, 2 to 3 times is, yeah, I enjoyed 2 to 3, doing it 2 to 3 times. But like, all right, I'll be honest, this Wednesday, that live stream, it's not all about money. Don't get me wrong, it's not all about money, because if it was about money, I'd be home in front of the computer actually making money instead of coming out. But on Wednesday, that entire live stream, even with the one super chat I got, made $9.70 something for an entire live stream. Would you come out, park, drive your car, you know, hang out for 2 hours, be away from home, spend money on coffee, spend money on gas, spend money on parking for $9.75? You know, who's the crazy one here? You know, so yeah, it literally cost me, you know, like $40 to come and do this, and I don't want to, you know, that's kind of beat. I was at Bellagio Wednesday night. Yeah, I was at Bellagio. I thank you, Paramount. I don't care if like I gotta pay to come out on Friday nights because I just love doing that. Yeah, I would do live streaming from my house. I mean, I could. I mean, I got a nice place and everything, don't get me wrong. But people don't watch, you know? When I do them from home, people don't watch for some reason. I mean, people will. There'll be like 30 or 40 people. Like, it'll be like the crew, you know? Like everyone who says hello to each other all the time, that's will be here. But when someone tunes in and they'll be like, who's this dude hanging out on his couch? You know? And then, because if I was a chick and I had big boobs and a lot of cleavage, yeah, friggin' I'd have like 2,000 people watching. But unfortunately, I'm not a chick with big boobs, so I'm just some guy, and, you know, random dudes just hanging out in their house, you know, don't get the views. It's one of the downsides of it. Let's see. The drive-in chats did not do all that well either. The first few, like, things get played. I mean, it's not, you know, I just came to the point where I just know things get played, you know? It doesn't matter how much fun I am. After a while, it's just like, enough of this freaking guy. I admit it because I get like that too with people. You know, I don't take that as an insult, but, you know, the thing is that I always felt, imagine this, doing a drive-in chat. Just think about this for a second. Imagine if I had an accident, like I got T-boned during a drive-in chat. That would be great for views, but at the same time, I'd probably be sitting there going, holy shit. If I didn't do a drive-in chat for $9.75, I'd be alive. That would be the ultimate buzzkill, you know, to get friggin', you know, get head on by a friggin' Mack truck during a live stream, you know, for $9. Uh-oh. We just ganked for a second. You know, guys not working McDonald's, right? I mean, I can go work at McDonald's, flip a few burgers, and, you know, make $9. So, here's what it is. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, you know, some things have to take precedent over the others. That would be awful. I'm glad you found me, too. Joe Ruiz, how about new Yeah, I was thinking about going to a Walmart. Yeah, we just buffered out like a freak, but it's back up to 11 megabits per second again, so that's good. Let me see. Oh, it's about that time. So I don't know if I'm gonna come out on Monday. If I can, I will. Put it that way. But it's a matter of where am I gonna go. I can go to Treasure Island. It's like the only place that doesn't cost me like 30 or 35 bucks a park. That'd be cool. But Treasure Island, you know, that gets pretty lame too. But we're halfway through the shitty summer months, which is awesome. So on the other side of this comes September, which I'm looking forward to. And then comes the cool weather. So, you know, then we could do some walking around. Because I do want to show you what's going on up the block with the guitar. The giant-ass guitar is being built. I want to go see that thing. I gotta whip my pole out and freaking shove it up in the air and whatnot because they got a fence or whatever. But I want to show you that. But it's like freaking 130 out. Well, right now, my watch claims that it's 98, which means it's about 100. You know what else is weird? Before I go, for some reason, here in Las Vegas, I've never experienced this in my entire life, but it's been getting dark and people in town and it's been getting dark at like 7:45 and we're all, holy shit. It's been getting dark at like 7:45 at night and we're not even halfway through summer. What the hell's going on? I remember like last year, the year before, it used to be like 8:30, 8:30, then 8:28, 8:26, like 2 minutes a day. It's freaking dark by 7:45 now, 7:50, and like each day it's cranking down. I mean, it's weird. I've never seen that. Even as a kid, I remember September and August, it'd still be light out at like 8:30, 8:45. Now 9:45, it's freaking dark and my lights are on when I'm driving. Weird stuff. The sun is broken. There's another eclipse coming because they have to change the light bulb, you know, the flat earth. Well, it is. It's like a terrarium, the planet, you know? So they got to change the light bulb. That's what an eclipse is. You know, they're like, oh yeah, they shut the light bulb out and they tell you it's an eclipse. You know that, right? But they put in the wrong bulb this time. They put in some LED bullshit. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Miss Google. I do appreciate that very much. Yeah, it is. Thank you very much for the Christmas in July. And, you know, that's kind of awesome. You know, we got Christmas in July during Leo season. How could you beat that? How could you beat that? Busy Vegas. Oh, yeah. So you're down with the Blueberry Hill, too, right? I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. Yeah, Mary, it's normal, 8:20. Over here, it's like 8:45, 8:50. That is so freaking loud. It's crazy. The earth, yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, I think we're having one of those, what do they call them? Pole shifts? We're flipping upside down. I do appreciate that. Does the new parking lot by PH charge? I don't know. I think it does. I think they do charge. When it cools off, just force them up here and we'll go on. Yeah, because people do like to see walking around the strip type stuff or whatever. Like I said, it's not all about the money. I just don't like when it I don't care if we're breaking even, it's cool. You know, breaking even, you know, I feel like that's a win. You know, I didn't have to reach into my pocket to entertain people. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of weird. But when it costs me money, I'm just like, it's rather disappointing. Like when I go home and I'm just like, damn, you know, I did the things and, you know, I just paid to do it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of I'll be honest, a little disheartening. But at the same time, you know, but Fridays, you know, you guys seem to dig Fridays, and Fridays is always good. Anyhow, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna go say some hellos, say some goodbyes, do all the stuffs, and don't know when I'll see you. I'll try for Monday, but definitely Fridays. But the only way that you'll know is if you like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least one time a week, sometimes 3, sometimes 2. You never know. But do the things, and I got all the links down there, and thank you to everyone who did Super Chat and the Venmos and the Cash App and all that other stuff. I love you guys. I appreciate your support, appreciate your love, appreciate your kindness, and on that note, Ha ha ha.